with a covering, but not of my spirit.
Now check this out. Our ministry is supposed to reflect the instructions that the Lord gave. You look at a lot of these other different groups, the things they do is not in the spirit Yahweh Shah would be in this time. There's things that Yahweh would definitely not be doing with the ministry if he was here today. Okay? We could go through a bunch of different examples, man. You wouldn't have a bunch of women in the congregation the way that you guys have. They wouldn't be having Israelite fashion shows and doing the commercial with Nate. He was a cowboy.
Oh, man.
Would Yahweh Shah be doing something like that? These people are not in the spirit that the Lord commanded us to be in. Okay? So again, the Lord is revealing to you who he's dealing with so that you can be prepared in the spirit to pass this test that we're about to undergo. You got it, bro.
They're covered with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
All right, so who's our covering? Yahweh Shah. Okay? These groups, one of the biggest red flag that you can point out is not Yahweh Shah the way that they ought to. Sakari didn't acknowledge Yahweh Shah the way that they ought to. They got exposed and made fun of and made a fool of. The Purple Rangers, they definitely don't acknowledge Yahweh Shah. They don't even call him his name. ISUPK, they don't push the importance of the covering that they ought to. And you cannot make it, you cannot pass this test we're about to go through unless you are all in with Yahweh Shah. Unless you understand that the only way you get through it is by you got it.
That want to go down to Egypt and not answer at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
So they lean on structure. We can do this here. We could. They're leaning on Egypt. This is spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Egypt. All right. They're trying to maneuver and build here in their minds. They got the fringes on, but they're not invested in what the fringes lead to. Keeping the ways of the Lord lead to the kingdom, and they're not invested in the kingdom of heaven. They're invested in Babylon. So they're gonna lose. You got it?
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt confusion.
You got it.
Right, so trusting in this place is going to lead to your shame. You have groups that have mixed the policies of this place with their ministry in order to obtain more money, alluding to the 501c3, right? And with that, they compromise the truth. They've done away with the holy name, and also they can teach a certain current events that are going on, allude to Revelation 13 and 16. When the government is going to cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their forehead. We call it the MOTB, right? To where you're going to have to individually speaking on what you believe in, bro. Do you believe in the beast system, right? Which your body's basically nutshell, your body integrating with AI. Okay?
Yeah.
You have to make a choice to separate from society.
Yeah, because you're not going to be able to buy or sell, save that you had that mark. People don't go into that when they go into Revelation. Yeah. People don't go into that part of the prophecy. To buy or sell means you're able to function within that society. You're able to exchange goods and services. You're able to get materials that you need. So you're not going to be able to do that unless you receive that mark. When we look at that mark, the word that's physically an incision in your flesh. Same way you would brand a horse. Same way, people put trackers in their pets. Okay? You brand something, when somebody brands something, it's saying that, I have ownership over this. So it really is a fight for your soul, dominion over your soul. And people don't look at it that way. So if they're on the fence about it, when that flesh is hungry, when things get uncomfortable, and they're on the fence about it, they're gonna fold.
Right, so it's easy to fold that person. It says that the righteous shall be scarce the same.
Get that, verse 4:17.
So it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a fight to not fold. There's gonna be a numerous factor gonna make people fold. real soon it's not going to be popular to be a Hebrew Israelite. It's going to be very unpopular. We're already a specter made by our people, and even it's going to be even more so as persecution is to erupt. A lot of people with fringes on, they're going to throw the fringes in the trash. It's not going to be a fan to them anymore. They're going to denounce being a Hebrew Israelite.
Like a lot of people already do it. It ain't even right now. Niggas folded.
Yeah.
Right?
They feel in the spirit that something's about to go down.
Yeah, they know. You got that precept?
Yeah, I got you. This is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 17. Starting at verse 17. It says, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High."
So judgment's gonna start with the people who know that they're Israelites. We're seeing an inkling of that. All these different groups that's pushing these wayward doctrines, that's concerned with the wrong things. The Lord's just having things over and over happen to show that the spirit ain't with them. You got it, bro. But it's gonna escalate further than that, where a lot of these people, they're gonna get put to death, man. They're trying to sidestep the judgment, but they're not gonna be able. Nero gonna pass all kind of legislation to your ass about it. The Lord ain't gonna be with you to get through it.
Right. Hey, during the time of the Romans, you know, there were several points to where you had certain Israelites get kicked out of Judea, bro. Or say, let me find it out of Rome. They got kicked out. We come into a time too. We could be in the. We used to talk about the wilderness a lot when I first came in. This might be a matter of time to where we might be in that wilderness, bro. Like all y'all got to get the hell out.
They shipped that dude from Maryland down there in Salvador and act like they couldn't find his ass. You know, so like I said, Nero, which we believe to be Donald J. Trump, all right, there's no new thing under the sun, so the people are doing it. In his lot, man, he's in that same spirit. See, you got it.
God. Continuing on, it says, "And if it first begin at us, what shall the end of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High?"
What should be the end of them who are obeying not the Lord gave, especially concerning the ministry? Go ahead, continue on.
Verse 18, it says, "And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?"
Scarcely is the word moles, all right? It's difficult or not easy. You ever went in a weight room and you get to that last rep and it's a little shake at the end?
Right.
Barely by the skin of their teeth. Indiana Jones, he's sliding under that closing wall by the skin of your teeth. Okay? So if somebody who's not in the spirit, not being obedient, they don't even have a chance if the righteous are barely gonna make it. So you gotta get real serious about your salvation. Because a lot of the leaders, they're not serious about salvation. So they're the blind leading the blind, both should fall into the ditch. All right? It's not a game, but a lot of Jake think it's a game. They don't realize that what we're a part of is gonna make you a treasonous. Treasons get put to death in every portion of history you go study.
Right.
It's a life or death situation, bro. You're a part of something very serious.
Hey, we all a phone call away from our whole lives being changed upside down. All they gotta do is press the button on us. You know, give your our individual employers a phone call. Hey, you know what he doing? Send some videos. Your life changed upside down.
Upside down. But that's fine to the real believers, because we know when they press the button, the Lord gonna press the button.
Hey, well, we had people who have heard that before and kept going.
Yep.
So, you know, it
gonna be
is what it
straight.
is. But other people who are rooted in Yahushua, that foundation, not Yahushua, they're not gonna make it, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man.
So to the people that's wishy-washy about the Lord's business, the scriptures in Amos say what end of that day is, you got it, bro. Let's read it real quick. So what end is that day for you?
This is Amos chapter 5 and verse 18. It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you?"
So to those people that know about the day of the Lord, know they Israelites, what end is that going to be for you? It's just your judgment. That's your death day. That's the, they got a cartoon anime back in there called Death Note.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
You write somebody's name in a book, and you can write their judgment under their name, and it'll play out just how you wrote it. The Lord got a judgment written out for a lot of y'all that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You got to continue on, bro.
God, towards the end of the verse, it says, "The day of the Most High is darkness and not light. As a man that did flee from a lion, and the bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand upon the wall, and the serpent bit him."
And what does that illustrate to you in your mind? You escape a lion only to run into escape the bear, only to run into, a snake in a cave. That's representing constant peril your life being under constant threat. That's the reality that we're about to step into. But like it says in Zephaniah 2 and 3, seeking righteousness, seeking bigness, they're going to be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. The Lord's going to make you escape the same way he did for our forefather David when he was on the run. The same way he did for all our forefathers. You go to 1 Maccabees 2 and 50 on down, it gives you examples of all the situations our forefathers were escaped from via the Lord, man, via their faith. You see? So that's the reality for the believers, but the reality for the people that's on the fence, bullshit, it's just not about this truth at all. It's just your death date that's come up. And you had the opportunity to evade that destruction via the prophets. But like the scripture saying in Proverbs 1, you said that not on the Lord's gate.
Right. You got 2/3 of our people that's going to party themselves to deaths.
Party themselves.
As it gets crazy out here, Jake Stevens was trying to have a good time and laugh shit off, and it's not fucking funny. Everything's a parody nowadays. Right? Everything's a joke. But real soon, people are going to look the hell up one day and all the time, party all the time.
But that's the spirit Jake is, bro. Yeah.
Jake gonna look the hell up, man. You don't part yourself into paneling. There'll be a lot of
This, all right, this Proverbs 1 and 32, 32 in the GNT. It says, inexperienced people die because they reject wisdom. Stupid people are destroyed by their own lack of concern.
right, lack of concern. People are looking at these things that's going on as like as far as this terrorist as it's a joke. I mean, I told y'all not to vote him. Right. In a stupid ass state, man. So the 2/3 of our people, in particular, you so-called Negroes, man, you're in a perpetual adolescent state, man, which is a curse. Children rule over. They have a very childish mindset. Jake can tell you more about a beef than he can tell you what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Locally speaking, man. Or he can tell you more that's going on globally and how it's going to affect them.
Could you read that one more? Look up that word experience for you. I'm going to look up the noun. I'm going to look up experience. So,
yeah. It says Proverbs 1 and 32 in the GNT. Inexperienced people die because they reject wisdom. Stupid people are destroyed by their own lack of concern.
Right. It says inexperienced people. Now you look up the word experience, the noun, we normally look up the verb, which means to be tried out. When you look up the noun, it says observation as the source of knowledge. Actual observation, an event which has affected them because these inexperienced people have not paid attention to what the Lord is saying is going to play out, they die.
Right.
Because they're not acknowledging the Lord's voice in the earth, which is his prophets, Amos 3 and 7, they're going to die.
Right.
We're literally telling people, hey man, you can avoid death because it's coming and fast if you do these things. But, like the brother just read, you're going to die because you're not acknowledging, the ways of the Lord, and it's said they're getting ready to play out on the earth. Right. So you're invested in this place, and you're going to be taken with it.
Hey, can you look up that word inexperienced in the Google, bro?
Okay. This is the word inexperience in the Google. It says,
some of the synonyms.
Naivety. Immature.
Unenlightenment.
Okay, yeah. Well, I thought it said, I did a video on it a while ago. It said, like, something not initiated or something like that.
I remember you brought that point up. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, that's what it is. Esau changed shit up.
Yeah, and it's the AI always gives you different definitions every time.
Yeah.
But they haven't been initiated into the understanding of the Lord.
Right. The unenlightened.
Unenlightenment. Yeah, we get unenlightenment. Because that's one of the synonyms that comes along with someone. It says the state of lacking an enlightened outlook. And we've been given an enlightened outlook. We're able to see the world through a spiritual lens because we've been given the Lord's understanding. So there's particular things that are playing out in the earth that we can see through. We can't be deceived or lied to the way that you people can. Yeah. You know what the scriptures say. Apostle Gabar, he always used to do that lesson. Remember that lesson he used to do? He talked about how he went to Yale. They went and saw different statues of the monkey, the owl and the dragon. The parrot, you know, you said when you come into this truth, there's different levels of understanding. You said people mimic what they hear people say. Then you got the monkey see, monkey do. There was the bullfrog too, which was stubborn. You want to be in, people just get stuck in their own ways and they can't grow. But then you get to the owl, which the owl has a filament in its eyes to where it can see through the dark. Meaning it can see through deception. That's the to be in. But then you get to the dragon, which is bullshit. Yeah, you can see through the bullshit. And we're able to see through bullshit in way of prophecy. But then you get to, he had we talked about the dragon statue they have up there in Yale, which is supreme patience. A snake will wait up to 3 days to attack. It's real patient. And the scriptures say, in your patience possessing your soul. So, you know, because people, they're not initiated to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, they're going to perish, man. And the Lord has us out here pleading people, hey, man, repent. Bidding you to the marriage. See? That's good. We're going to figure out the initiate. I know that brother's looking for. The initiate. He's still looking for. It's all good. We can go back to reading where we was at. Finish that, read that on.
Yeah.
You got something there. I'm sorry, I know I've been making
No.
Like, drop it.
Oh yeah, there you go, bro. Right
Okay,
there. So you look up yours and say uninitiated.
why mine ain't do it? Then?
Exactly. I told you Esau be. You know what I'm saying?
Is that wrong? Sir?
Nah. You spelled it right. Oh, you put the D on the end.
Oh,
I mean, but
okay,
still,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, they say it's uninitiated. Going back into the scriptures talk about
Yeah.
mysteries given unto those, you know what I'm saying, who was initiated, man.
Take that.
You know? It talks about the mysteries, you know, it's only given unto the elect, man. When you go into that word mysteries, it goes into, you know, the knowledge given unto them that were initiated, man. You see a certain group that written. You see 2/3 are not initiated, man. You know?
Right. And that's why we're such spectacle to the world, because what we saying is foreign to 2/3 of our people understand. 2/3 of our people understand.
I want to read the definition. It says introduced to some practice or system. So they haven't been introduced to the way. They haven't been given that breath of life, which is the understanding to judge righteous judgment. Goes on to say sacred to instruct in mysteries or sacred knowledge. This is hard. Hey, this is the sacred knowledge, bro. There's no other understanding that holds a candle up to this. This is immortality. We actually have the recipe up here for immortality. If we had a sign that said free immortality up here, everybody at least ask, what y'all got going on? But that's really what this, man, this understanding you a part of this family line and being able to keep the ways, this leads to immortality. I should get a free, because hey, that's really what this leads to.
Right.
Man, I said something.
No. I'm
Okay,
looking at it. You got it, bro.
Yeah, we gotta get a free immortality camp sign.
That's what it is.
Yeah, this leads to immortal life, man. Eternal life. You got it.
Those you have here, see here.
Yeah.
No.
No,
I
yeah.
won't force it. But you know what?
Force it.
1 Corinthians 4:9. For I think that the Most High hath set forth us the apostles' lives as it were appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men.
That wasn't forcing it. That's perfect. So, because we look like a spectacle, because we don't fit with viewing success in this world, they disregard the free immortality that we're talking about. They just can't fathom that guys that look like this, all right, guys that, you know, they in the same tax bracket, have an understanding that'll lead them to immortality, to rulership, dominion over the earth.
Yeah.
They just can't fathom it because they have carnal eyes. They don't see spiritually, okay? And at the end of the day, ultimately, the Lord allotted them to that part in the movie to not get it. You see? You have more on that?
We are fools for Mashiach's sake, but ye are wise in Mashiach. So these other camps, they're looking good, right? Well, really, this is going, if you read this whole chapter, it's going into Paul speaking to his disciples, right? Saying like, we're made fools, but you guys are looking good, right? So the apostles at us, but we can utilize this for these other camps. We're made foolish, but the other camps, they're seen as something that's you could esteem to be.
Yeah, that's why
Like
people pick.
IUIC.
That's why they pick IC.
Right.
See that dude that got his ass whooped?
Yeah, he got.
Yeah.
I seen
Memphis
that.
guy?
I seen that.
Yeah. But he picked IUIC because he looked like, okay, well, I want to be Israelite, but I don't want to look crazy in the world. I want people to look at me and see something I can be proud of. But you gotta understand the scriptures. We're not supposed to be congratulated, of high esteem, palatable to the world. The scriptures tell you that you're gonna be hated.
That's why you don't You come out here and do the work. You go home. You just be a regular person. You're not trying to be cool.
You got it, bro.
Philippians chapter 2 in verse 3. Let nothing be done through strife or vain glory,
Right.
but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than themselves.
That's what the apostles teach. The apostles, they teach the mindset of not being a celebrity. Like, look, we ain't celebrities. We had just do the work. They do the work, go to the crib. It ain't, like them puffing themselves up. And that's what the apostles, the bishops, elders on down try to showcase. That it's not about us, it's about Yeshua. Conversely, versus, that's where that word comes from. Conversely, you know what I'm saying? You got these other camps like IUIC, and it's been for years we've been talking about this guy. He puffs himself up. Now he's Russia, right? Yeah, he going into one of them old saloons.
It's like he seen that movie Sinners. He was like,
I should have been. Yeah. Taking shots of apple cider vinegar. Come on, man.
Damn, clowns.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Verse 4 it says, look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Mashiach Yahushua, who being in the form of the Most High, of a power, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High, but made himself of no reputation.
That's right, and that's a key point. That's what the apostles exhibit. They make themselves with no reputation. Right. So they have no reputation, yet they're known. Like it's right here. Yes, more than that.
Hey, this nigga Nate came in on that horse. How many did that?
Yeah,
He
he
came in on a
donkey.
Like, what the hell are you doing? I just had to bring that up.
Right, it's Yahweh's Passover. You pull up on
A white horse?
On a white horse.
Like you got the power.
You know.
You got the juice now, head ass.
Right.
You got it.
Oh, you supposed to be honoring your friend with a surprise party. He lowly, but you come in there being loud as hell. Damn, so I'm late, dog.
It's your party.
Yeah. Man, that Benz, man, keep on, keep on lock your door. You want everybody to know you got a Benz. Yeah, I'm just trying to live like.
Yeah, that's not your friend.
Yeah. You an asshole.
You?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, going back, it says, who being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be God, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of man.
That's right. That's what the apostles do. They feed the flock constantly, and that's what tell us to exemplify, feed the flock. It says what's that, John? If you love me, feed my sheep. And that's what we try to exemplify. That's why the apostles tell us to constantly do these sit downs, glamorous and all that shit. Try to make a name for yourself. That doesn't mean anything. And that's not glorifying Yahweh Shai. He's who wants to get a name for himself. So the apostles are lowly, but yet known. I want to get this in the First Corinthians. I'm gonna let you get yours. First Corinthians 4 and 10. For we are fools for Mashiach's sake, but we are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. Right? So the apostles are despised, you know what I'm saying, for this truth. But the other camps, right?
Podcast, a radio show.
They're doing it big. Hey, they're doing it big.
Jet set.
Hey, Alazar got $300K in his bank account, man. Do you know you can do a lot with $300K? You can live good off of $300K. People that say, oh, I want millions. You can get $300K and get some serious financing going. Man.
You at $300K, you're what, the top 10% of people in the world making money?
If you looking for $300K, how good of a house rate can you get to put down?
If you're able to put down 50K
50K with some good
in Texas,
forget about it.
Can I read what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Hey, a 5.5, three,
Yeah.
3-bedroom with your own study,
Boy, you go to West Texas.
entertainment system. Hey,
Right.
your own entertainment
You
system.
look
Right,
at it.
media room, yeah.
Look
Right,
at it.
workout center,
If you go to
What?
West Texas, you
Same.
can get
Right.
that with the land.
estate.
You get the
You
land
get you a
package.
damn estate.
You get
Yeah, you got a statue of yourself in the middle of the damn lawn.
yeah. No bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going
All right,
hard.
the brother put this on the comment board. This is Hopeful Elect 144. He put up Luke 14:11. For whoever exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted.
That's what happened to Eleazar. Eleazar, he uplifted himself. Man. It was all about him and how he's gonna shut down people. It wasn't about Yahushua. He said he doesn't worship Yahushua. He downplayed Yahushua. He said it was all about the law, keeping the law, right?
I don't care what Mark said.
Right.
Right. He had a very, and the Most High put a very reprobate spirit on him. Because he had a knowledge.
What?
He knew. Yeah.
What happened to that nigga?
Yeah, I was thinking that, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So
He put that fat. Oh,
he got that freaky thing.
Yeah, he put that freaky dicky on him. Because he wasn't acknowledged. That's scary, bro. That should make you want to tighten up.
Yeah, that was for all of us, man. You
And
know?
also that precept going to the fact that you made the point that our apostles themselves have no reputation, but yet they're of high esteem.
Yeah.
Because they're concerned about the Lord's business. So the Lord exalts them. You see? All right, I did.
Done. This is Sirach 33 in verse 5 in the GNT. It says, "No one who loves money can be judged innocent. His efforts to get rich have led him to sin." Like the elder was going into, man. These dudes got this money, man, but what did they do for it? They had to sin for it, bro.
What is that? What is saying to Kendrick? Is that for the love of money? Is that?
Nah, this is a rock.
Okay, that's fire though, because it shows you if you're actually chasing the bag, it's gonna cause you to do things that deliberately go against the Lord's way. If the Lord allotted for you to be one of those men that are financially well off here, the bag will come if you walk in righteousness.
Right.
And then on top of that, when you get it, you'll know with that bag.
Exactly.
Destroy you.
Alazar got 300K, but like you said,
He lost his mind.
he lost his mind. And is he doing anything spiritual with that money? Is the nation of Israel benefiting by him having money?
Bro, you got 300K, but then you asking people on camera, you know, on your own, you know, to send money for you to get a new camera. But you going live from the fucking phone.
We can't feed y'all today because
But you going live from the phone.
right.
Yeah.
Goofy shit.
But you got 300K in the bank.
Hit licks so you can fill out your folly, man. Or the congregation you grifted, bro.
Going on podcasts, trying to get as many members you can.
Bro.
Sitting with a nigga that'll get his wife plowed out.
Bro, one of them niggas said Alazar was like meeting the Lord.
Yeah.
Like, nigga,
Oh,
what?
yeah.
What is that shit? Pissed me off.
You know that nigga head.
I cut that shit off. You know when you know I had to cut this shit off. What's that mean when a guy take his headphones off?
And that's what that nigga wanted. That's what
Yeah,
that nigga
that's
wanted, man.
bullshit.
Got what you looking for.
Exactly. And then the Lord exposed that nigga right after that shit. Nigga got pride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like me the Lord.
Also, that was the same week he pulled his little, he pulled his draw 4 card and said, "Oh, don't listen to Great Mill. They teach great."
Right.
That was a week after he said that shit because we was reviewing him because he said, "Oh, we might be here another 1,000 years." See how all that transpired? That should put fear on you, man.
Man.
Fear of the Lord. The only fear that's what should be on you when you see shit like that. It's fear of the Lord.
That's right.
I got a pre-sale,
Okay, go ahead, brother.
but I know I ain't got the microphone, so
Oh, go ahead.
I ain't want to grab it.
Oh, go ahead.
This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 6. Humble yourselves there under the mighty hand of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, that it may exalt you in due time. Because as the priest was going into, Yahushai, when you read Hebrews 12, he was the author and finisher of our faith. So he was the example on how to serve Yahweh. And his example, Yahushua didn't come to be ministered unto. He didn't come to get the glory. He came in a humble mindset. And this scripture says, humble yourselves under the mighty hand of the Lord. Who's the mighty hand of the Lord? Yahushua. So if you want to come in that stead, you got to come in the stead of Yahushua to be accepted. And they was going into Alazar, he didn't come in the state of Yahweh, the state of exalting himself. And therefore, what the scriptures speak about, if you exalt yourself, he's going to abase you. But if you humble yourself, the Lord going to exalt you in due time. And we coming into that time of being exalted. But first, Yahushua, he got to get his glory. You know, if you're a man's woman, you get your glory from your husband.
Yeah.
So when Yahushua gets glory, the elect going to be glorified along with him.
Yeah,
It ain't the other way around.
Here you go.
A wife pours the will of her husband. So her glory ain't attached to that man. She's doing the daily, things in the house, making sure everything is square. She benefits from his successes. We're gonna benefit from the Lord being uplifted, acknowledged in the earth. And you see these things out? These are the rumblings and the beginnings of our Lord. All the crowns of the earth being set upon his head. Right? So we're excited, to see what's playing out in the earth. Okay? We want this place to fall because we know. All right, so we're gonna pivot a little bit, talk about the destruction of this place, and go into that, man.
Right.
Babylon has to fall.
That's right. Hey, because those that's believing in this way is going to be destroyed right along with this place. Right. Those that have mixed mingle this understanding with the ways of the world, and those that's in the world, right, of our people. 2/3 people are going to be destroyed, right? Hey, real quick. Jeremiah 9:25. Behold, the days come, said Yahweh, thou wilt punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcision. And Judah and Edom and children of Moab, and Ammon and Moab, and all that are in the other corners that dwell in the wilderness, for all these nations are uncircumcised, and all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in the heart.
Our people, they don't subscribe to the Lord's way. All these people, they're actually in opposition to Yahweh. So judgment is going to come down upon all of the earth, okay? But it's going to especially start with those who were in the covenant with the Lord. Yeah, we watched that clip earlier. I wish I could. I'm running on it, not today.
But we say self-proclaimed niggas. You got people that's of Israel calling themselves
real
the
niggas.
N-word. The Real Niggas Academy.
Get your real
the Lord was a real niggas. Oh my goodness.
Man.
Yeah, y'all black.
Oh my goodness. You don't want to be a niggard.
Right.
Somebody understand how to operate in particular settings, man.
Right. Nigger.
Man, Jake, they want to merge black culture. They want to merge, this death style with the scriptures, but you can't mix the two.
Right.
When you do it, it costs for you to go off. It costs for you to deliberately go against our Lord, man. You're putting a target on your back by trying to mix the two. You got it. That's right. Isaiah 47.
You got to know.
Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust of Virgin, daughter of Babylon.
Dust represents confusion. This place is going to be taken from that high position and pulled in the dust, pulled down into confusion, pulled down to a lower state. You got it?
Sit on the ground. There is no throne or daughter of the Chaldeans.
All right, the Chaldeans in ancient Babylon, they were the priesthood, and they were a part of their council. They were also the astrologers in ancient Babylon, so you would liken that to a guy like a...
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, you were I thought somebody was about me. Today you were liking them, like Elon Musk, Bill Gates with their technology. These people, this is how the earth is going to, we should do this. These people are back. The same spirits are back. Okay? You got it.
For thou shalt more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstone and grind the mill, uncover with thy locks. Make bare the leg, uncover.
Okay. Make bare the, okay? Meaning this devil is being exposed for what he is, to the point where the whole continent of Africa, which they love the white man, they all of a sudden switched and was like, oh, we can't fuck with y'all. Y'all extorting us for our resources. They all done banded together. And then they got Russia backing them.
China too.
And China to
Really?
do. So the leg is being made bare. Inquisition is being made of the wicked, like it talks about in 2nd Ezra 6, was it 1819? 2nd Ezra 6 and 18, Inquisition.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody get that for me, just so I ain't...
I can make a point too, going back to, like it says, grind the mill. You know what I'm saying? That shows how Babylon gonna go from this prosperous, glorious place to from the heights down to the bottom. Because grind the mill was a job for a servant, man, like a slave. You know what I'm saying?
Females too.
Right, exactly. Yep, females. Yep. So that show you how low the Lord is gonna bring Babylon, man.
Lifted them up and he's bringing them down. Yeah, man. America really is a third world country with a Gucci belt. You know what I mean?
Oh shit, that's why the Lord said what he said. Like you said, that's what the Lord also liken Babylon unto a woman. So like the elder was going into it, that's a job of a woman, a servant. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, real quickly, can I get this for this brother right here?
Of course.
This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 3, but I'm going to get it in the CSB. In the CSB. And it says, Ecclesiastes 12 and 3, on the day when the guardians of the house tremble and the strong men stoop, who grind grain cease because they are few, and the ones who watch through the windows see dimly.
Right. So there it is, man. Tying that, making that connection, bro. Because these top rich elite banking families, man. I remember I seen a video about it's either one of King Charles or one of them niggas. Like, bro, he won't even a letter fell off his desk. That nigga wouldn't even pick it up. He would call a servant to come give it to him.
Yeah.
So imagine something like that who's used to everything being done for him. Man. You know what I'm saying? Going into a hardcore captivity, bro. Right. You know, that's gonna be bro.
Traumatic.
Right.
Traumatic experience. That's like the same traumatic experience being taken in the slave company.
Right.
To the point to where you know that the whole mindset and that trauma just gets passed down.
Right.
It's gonna get passed down to the Edomites, man. Upon the return of Babylon, that trauma's gonna be passed down. Well, I looked up. I asked ChatGPT what constitutes a third world country. Okay, because I made that statement, America, a third world country. I want to read it. It says, third world originally referred to countries that were not aligned with NATO. America's being disaligned with NATO. Okay, or the communist bloc. Second world during Cold War. Today, it's often used to describe countries with economic development, higher poverty rates. Poverty rates are high here. There's no middle class. And less industrialization. America imports all its goods. It doesn't build its own stuff. It doesn't do its own stuff. It needs other people to function. So I would kind of usher this moving into that category. These countries typically
It's a deficiency in skill here.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of people with skill. Like the ice storm that happened a few years back. There was a need for plumbers. They had to get plumbers from Louisiana to come in.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's such a shortage and people getting skills.
Yeah.
Right?
What happens when the grid goes down here one time and all the infrastructure is just messed up? There's going to be extreme shortage of people who have the right skills to get it running to where it once was.
Right.
Okay? Yep. So again, this place is one bad day away from being a third world country. People look at it like America, you're looking at the Gucci belt. But that Gucci belt ain't shit.
Right.
Alright, this is one bad day.
Blackouts.
Yeah.
A blackout can change the whole course of a country's year. Sometimes they teach you instead that 99.9% is good enough for developed countries in certain scenarios, especially when it comes to blackouts. Think about it, have any of us ever experienced that? Like a blackout, I'm talking the whole hour.
Well, I grew up in Florida, so you have hurricanes. Sometimes all the electricity gets cut out. And you know, you might be sitting there for a day or two. But you know what, the people there know, they prepared.
Right, and that infrastructure is built to that deer day.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a blackout to where
Weeks.
Yeah, you know the electricity is kind of faulty here.
Yeah.
Like it's like somewhere in Nigeria.
Yeah. And people ain't cut for that.
Nah.
See, a lot of
while we talking that shit.
shit.
Hey, the only way we cut with avoid with the Lord dealing with us.
Yeah, that's what makes us cut. Because the spirit
That's all
dealing
we
with
got.
us. You know what I mean? And that's all we know playing B.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But these people, they don't got nothing. Faith is in something that the Lord promised is going to fail. When we got faith in, the Lord can't lose.
I'm gonna just read some out.
Right? So it's just like, you know, these people, yeah, we in Babylon the same way they in Babylon. We deal with the same they deal with. When we got a Trump card, they don't.
We got the rock.
Yeah.
Hey, if you had mentioned that about the grid, like it's one day away, bro. Brother had asked ChatGPT about America's basically the power grid is out of date.
Yeah.
You know, even Trump said it himself.
He did.
Go ahead,
All right, this is we had looked up on ChatGPT is America power grid out of date. It says the U.S. power grid is widely considered outdated and in urgent need of modernization. Much of the infrastructure was built mid-20th century and is now struggling to meet the demands of the 21st century.
Now struggling to meet the demands of in these times, man. You see? Let's keep going, bro.
It says in a little subsection they got titled, it says aging infrastructure. It said approximately 70% of the U.S. transmission lines and power transformers are over 25 years old, nearing the end of a typical 50, 80-year lifespan. It said it increased outrages. The number of major power outages in the U.S. has doubled over the past decades,
Right.
with the country experiencing more blackouts than any other developed nation.
Right. Yeah, damn. Read the last one again.
It says the U.S. has doubled over the past 2 decades, with the country experiencing more blackouts than any other developed nation.
Damn, than any other developed nation.
Yeah.
So you have these.
No, go ahead.
I bet you had these insiders. I done seen an interview with this lady. I don't know her name. A dude was interviewing her. She was basically saying all it's gonna take is just an attack on the grid would shut down, bro.
Yeah, right.
And it's nothing America could really fucking do about it, man.
Right.
You see?
That's pride.
And I wouldn't be surprised a lot of that has been going on now, especially with the influx of these plane crashes. That's something that just don't happen.
Right. Man.
It's all these signs showing you that, damn, this place is on the decline.
Man.
That something's ready to happen to where everything shifts. And if you don't have a pulse on the solution on how to be prepared for that, you're gonna lose big. The only solution to this thing is the spiritual.
Now I was gonna say, it kind of makes me think about, because in the electrical trade, a lot of problems with people's houses is just a lot of the stuff is old.
Yeah.
So they'd be like, I can't support the new appliances that giving out all these new appliances, drawing more energy, and a lot of these houses, they haven't been updated. The power lines and things like that, it hasn't been updated to fit the new requirement of the appliances. So
And that's another reflection of the pride of this man. Every other world, they're constantly trying to improve their infrastructure. America's like, oh, that's good enough. we good.
yeah.
Make some
They're
bombs.
too busy
Yeah.
making money.
Need more bombs.
Yeah, we need more bombs.
They're busy making money, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, and if a country is trying to update its infrastructure, that's a reflection of them not giving a fuck about people. They don't give a fuck about you people. You guys, the citizens of America, are going to be a sacrifice to push forward the new world order.
Man, yeah.
They're getting ready to sacrifice you people to push forward their agenda. You know, these are Satanists, man. But to be covered in anything, the scriptures let you know you got blood has to be involved. All right, we got the blood shot, but they're gonna shed the blood of you people to try to forward their agenda. You don't even you in the pot being seasoned.
Yeah.
They conditioning you to go along with everything. They just seasoning y'all asses up. Y'all preheating right now. You got it. You got some over there.
No, you go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So these people, man, because of their lack of knowledge, because of their lack of acknowledgement of the way, acknowledgement of prophecy, they're going to be destroyed. We're still in Isaiah 47.
Yeah.
Okay, come. Okay.
Isaiah 47 and 1, I'll start at the top. 47:1, come down and sit in the dust of Virgin Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
All right, so the daughter, just to let you all know, the daughter of Babylon is connected with Esau Edom. All right, we're gonna get Psalms 137 real quick just to prove that may be new. You're gonna have people that try to swindle you and say, oh, Esau ain't the white. Who's connected with the daughter of Babylon? We know we're in Babylon because this is where the bulk of the tribes are, and we're all here oppressed together. This is where the truth came out of. So this is Babylon the Great. But who will be ruling over? You got it, bro.
God, this is Psalm chapter 137, starting at verse 7. It says, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom
Edomites, Esau. Go ahead.
in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed.
It connects Edom with Babylon, who are to be destroyed. All right, so they're going to be ruling this future Babylon that's going to be destroyed by fire, not ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon wasn't destroyed in that fashion. So Esau Edom is connected with the daughter of Babylon that we're reading about in Isaiah 47. Okay, you got it.
God,
Oh, you got it.
I just had a precept, but he can finish.
Go ahead.
Nah, because you pretty much quoted it, but another indicator too is that ancient Babylon, what is it called? It was just Judah. It was just other kingdom was already taken out
Yeah.
for the Assyrians. So this is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go." And that lets you know it's not talking about ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon only had the southern kingdom.
Southern Kingdom, they were separated.
Exactly, they only had the southern kingdom. The northern kingdom was already taken out. So for somebody to say, "Oh, this is talking about ancient Babylon," but that doesn't make sense, because the north southern kingdom are oppressed. They're going to be oppressed together in this daughter of Babylon.
That would have been a very easy, simple way that any brother 6 months in could have shut Ron Dalton down. When he came up on the radio show talking to Nate. Really? Just go, you get him, okay, so
I'm up,
with
man.
daughter of Babylon. Who that? Who's that? Donald? That's his name, right?
Yeah, Ronald Dalton, something
Nigga
like
look
that.
more like a Eugene. All right? But yeah. But yeah. You know, that really rubbed me the wrong way. When I see, God damn. You know, you don't want, you know, the other cats, they going off, but you don't want to look stupid. Go ahead, man.
Isaiah 47:1, come down and sit in the dust of virgin daughter. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Yeah, it's not, people aren't going to look at this place, oh, America, this is the land of opportunity. Fuck this place. Talk about it being destroyed. This shit is over with.
It's done.
Okay, if you in the spirit of God bless America, you ain't in the spirit of the Most High.
That's
You ain't in
right.
the spirit of Yahweh Shah. You in the spirit of this place. You want this place to continue. If you want this place to continue, man, you're aligning with Satanists, and you're gonna get what they get. Okay, which is destruction. You got it.
Take the millstone and grind meal. Cover thy locks. Make bare the leg. Uncover.
We went into the grind mill earlier, and then they're making the leg bare, man. The inquisition being made in this place, them being shown for who they really are. This place isn't this land of opportunity free. It's a bully. It's the devil. It's an extortioner. It's the epicenter in which all evil is pushed. All right, the elites, the small hats, they use America to forward all their evil in the earth. You got it.
Thy thigh pass over the rivers. Thy necklace shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
So the Lord became as a man the first time, but he's returning to power in this time. Go to 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. It talks about the Lord returning with the fleet of the angels. One hitter quitter this place. All right? Not effortless. It said neither lifted up hand nor sword. Breath of fire came out, showing the effortlessness of just a commander command and everything getting handled. You understand? Yeah, you got more on that? Going down to, you had verse, you wanted to get verse 8, didn't you?
Yeah, that's more. As for our Redeemer, the Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughters of Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my heritage and given them into thine hand. Thou didst shew them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
Nah, that's talking about, hey, Babylon the Great being destroyed. Because it's looked at as if it's not, nothing gonna happen to it. That's why America don't work on the defense system. The missile defense system got a 51% failure rate. So that means that high chance that if somebody was to attack them like Russia, or Russia has, they wouldn't be able to defend it. That's why they ain't gonna be able to defend that Satan 2 missile, man, they have, man. All right, because their offense is so good, they don't want to work on their defense. They got firepower. That's why all these nations are scared to attack America, because America has garrisons and they got men set up everywhere. This Psalms 49:11, their inward thoughts, that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their land after their own names.
Oh yeah, and that's what you see Esau him doing, man. He got that proud spirit on him. He said he don't think he can go down. That's why he even stated a statement. You had that little hat. You know, we got to speak in code. But he said that if it was another flood, then we wouldn't have to worry about it, man. All right, that's a proud statement to think that you can escape the Lord's judgment. And ultimately, according to the scriptures, what did the Lord say happened to Babylon the Great? Being America. He said it's going to go down. All these nations are going to come against America and shoot ICBM nuclear warheads at it. And then they're going to be trying to go against the Lord when he returns back, as the brother was going into.
I got some. This is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 3. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, who in habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Right, just going into what pretty much Esau Edom, bro, what you just went into, man. How he's pretty much, like, I got it. Yeah, pretty much, you know, Esau pride, man, you know, it's so high that he think his arms is long enough to box with God. Apparently, right? When, you know, we got the saying, man, your arms are too short to box with God. Nah, Esau's like, nah, I can fuck with him. I am God. You know, as it says in what, 2 Thessalonians? How he, Second Thessalonians, how it goes into how he exalts himself above all, called God, roughly paraphrased. So Esau, his pride is deceiving him. That's it. And the Lord got him in the trick bag with that.
And like you saying that, because like the priest was mentioning, you see how everything is hung up with prophecy, because he mentioned how Esau's defense system is whack, and he went on and he pointed out other points going into this system, and you see that's lining up strictly with prophecy, because like thinking back to the Obadiah, Esau, he's not even working on the defense system because he has a mindset that he got it. Even when you read about that in Revelation 18, he said, I'm a harlot, I shall see no sorrow, much sorrow and pain give her. This is all falling in line with prophecy, because ultimately when the Lord returns, he won't eat in his heightest of pride. That's why you read that in Romans 9. He said Pharaoh, he raised up Pharaoh, that's the same way he raised up Esau. He wants Esau to be in the heightest of his prime, so when the Lord returns, his name gonna be glorified throughout the earth. When he take this nigga out, they're gonna, who did it? It's the Almighty Yahweh Bashmawashah, just like it did in the time of Egypt. When he got Pharaoh, when everywhere Israel stepped, they knew, oh, your power is Al-Shaddai. Yeah, how about Shah? We don't want to fuck whatever you want. You know, they understood it. That's the yeah, exactly. That's the same. That's the spirit of the Lord coming in, man. He won't Esau in that situation where he just think he can't fall, man. And it's perfect, because you see you got Trump in office and shit. Everybody are happy to be an American and shit. Right. Niggas holding on for dear life. Terrorists fucking their ass up, but Trump gonna get us through. You see, that's their pride that the Lord will be in, because when we return, it's ready for the take.
Hey, we about to see these tariffs. The effects of them, man, starting at the end of this month, man.
Yes, sir.
You see, people like the brother said, man, niggas think that Trump is going, you know what I'm saying, bring this back, but now they starting to see that he's not with them, man. He never was. He's falling right in line with the agenda of the elites, man. You see, and at the end of this month, then you're gonna start seeing more and more shelves, empty shelves, man, in these stores, man. It's gonna be more harder to get particular things. Prices are gonna go up. You know what I'm saying? They said by the summer it could possibly be a recession, bro. You know. So we gonna see, man. It ain't in a mindset like the brother was going into earlier, man. Party in that Eddie Murphy spirit. Man. They want to party all the damn time, man. A hot girl summer, bitches all in the gym trying to, oh yeah, summertime. Well, okay. Well, the Lord is gonna cancel your fucking summer, man. You see, it's about to get real hard out here, man. You know.
God, that's why it's gonna be Psalms. Oh, that's my bad.
Did you have one?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna put it out because you had made a point. You know, I just want to quote it real quick, Salaki. This is Matthew 24, because this is what Yahweh Shai, them parts he mentioned. He mentioned that it's going to be similar to the days of Noah. Well, what's common about the days? I'm reading. This is Matthew 24 and verse 37. It said, and this is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, so before the destruction, what mannerism was the people in, pretty much, right? It says they were eating and drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. So in a nutshell, they was living it up, trying to get the little, and you see that now, like the priest was going into, Jake trying to enjoy this little time of Babylon. That was in a time when Noah was on the scene, man, didn't believe his message. So they was like, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. Keep going to say they knew not until the flood came, so they didn't understand that their time was up until the Lord returned with that flood, and that's what's going to happen here, man. Jacob's over having to limit it up, but soon the Lord gonna bring those plagues up, and they were like, shit, I should have listened to the prophets, because you know when that drop of rain hit the niggas' head back then, what? They was, oh shit, where Noah? I gotta get to the ark. That's why the scripture say, then they should know a prophet was amongst them. So they gonna understand like listening to those men. But this is the Yahweh Shai saying it's gonna be the same similar fashion he was returning. When he's coming back on this earth, what? It's going to be just like Noah. Niggas having the time of their life, not worried about the prophecies. I'm going to finish it out. Matthew 24 and 39. Knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also be the coming of the Son of Man. Just showing the resemblance. I mean, the same mannerism, man.
Hey, read that last part real quick, bro.
God, this is Matthew 24 and 39. And knew not until the flood came.
Right, that's going right into Isaiah chapter, 6.
Yep.
When Isaiah, Lord, how long shall it be? And what did the Lord say? Until the cities be wasted. So these niggas are gonna be, they ain't gonna truly understand what's going on until their ass get destroyed, man. You know? Niggas, man, bro. Shit.
Thief in the night.
Man, like the brother, like the elder said, man, the Lord coming is like a thief in the night, man. You know?
God, that's why it's a need for the Lord to bring a judgment like he did to ancient Egypt. Because what happened after the Lord plagued Egypt with all those plagues, jacked them up, when he split the sea and then he made the water fall on them, everybody was scared, man. Yeah, you read those different accounts in the scriptures, people were scared about what happened to the Egyptians. They was like, man, if the Lord with them, I don't know if we want to try and attack them. Because we saw what they did to the Egyptians and what? Spiritual Egypt, the Lord finna do the same thing to Babylon and Great America. He gonna be known by his judgments he's gonna commit.
Go back to Isaiah 47. Isaiah 47 and 7. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not these things to thine heart.
That's what America's in the spirit of, man. I'm gonna rule forever. I'm never gonna go get taken down out of power. And that's a proud mindset to be in, man. That's why kingdoms got taken down. They didn't consider that the way they was ruling their kingdom was not the way the Lord would be doing it. So what happened? They all got taken down. You have all these various empires that ruled the earth before, man. And Esau didn't learn from that. Sodom and Gomorrah was supposed to be an example rule. But what is America doing? Going further, going off, hey, balls deep with the wickedness that Gomorrah did, man. All right, got it, bro.
Neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, that there are given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, and says in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood.
Oh yeah, great judgment gonna happen, man. That goes right with Revelation 18. That's how you know the prophets were seeing the same. You see? We're in the book of Isaiah, and Isaiah is basically saying the same vision, revelation that John the Revelator got in Revelation 18 when he saw a judgment of Esau Edom.
Yeah, I got it. This Revelation 18, straight to it, verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. Strong is the Lord God who judges her.
Oh yeah, that's what we get ready to see, man. And one day, it's gonna be easy, man. It's a light thing for the Lord to take a nation out of power. You see? Guess what? Every single, all these inventions Esau got, he had to use the Lord's creations to do it. And then the Lord allowed him to get the wisdom to be able to create all this stuff, man. You see? So the Lord is the one that gave it to him. He can easily take it away. That's why you can't be here to being proud, man. That's what Sirach 10, the 10th chapter goes into, man. And that's why we're going to see in such a great fall. Because his pride is way up here. So his fall is going to be real big, man. Yes, more.
The loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantments.
All types of enchantments happening on the left-hand side, man. The way this whole infrastructure is set up to deceive everybody. Got all these false, so-called quote-unquote idols being pushed out. When you look into these rituals these celebrities do, a lot of that stuff goes back to idolatry. It's worship of some false idol in some way, shape, or format. When you have those celebrities, they do the same person, that goes back to idol worship. When you see one of them sacrificing their kids, idol worship. You see, Esau pushes all these forms of that with the way he rules his kingdom. You see, also not only that, man. Like the colors we see on these different restaurants, all this stuff, these colors make your ass want to get hungry.
Yep.
It's all a play on your mind, man.
Yellow, orange.
Right.
Sure, I want to make just a point. Even our people, they partake in sacrifices. When that black woman lay on that AB table, yeah. All right. Well, I'm not doing that because in the ancient world, people would sacrifice a child or something to most for money or a platform for acknowledgement. It's the same thing here. She said, "Oh, I got an abortion because I don't, I can't afford that." Well, you did it for money. You did it for money. Well, I just, I got the job, I got the promotion, I don't got time for that. You did it for the platform. You did it for the status. You're doing the same sacrifice. You sacrifice Molech, you're part of the idol worship, and you're part of the problem, which is why you're gonna be part of the barbecue. Okay? There you go.
Keep in mind, this is Psalm chapter 50. I'm gonna start at 19. I'm reading it in the NLT. It says, "Your mouth is filled with wickedness, and your tongue is full of lies. You sit around and slander your brother, your own mother's son. While you did all this, I remained silent, but I didn't care. But now I will rebuke you, listing all my charges against you. Because as the priest was mentioned, the Lord got Esau in the trick bag. We always speak about how Esau be doing this term gradualism. Ultimately, the Lord doing that shit with him. Esau's in a mindset like, damn, I done did all this wickedness throughout the earth. The Lord ain't jacked me up. Did not the scripture say, since sentence against the evil word is not executed speedily, the hearts of men are sitting on to do wicked? So Esau's in a mindset like, damn, shit, I am God. He got to the point to where he think he the Most High because the Lord ain't touched him yet. But the reason the Lord ain't touched him because the prophecy be fulfilled. As you read about that in 2 Thessalonians, only he would let it to be taken out of the way. The Lord is only allowing Esau to fill up his tab so he could judge his ass. But Esau's taking that, oh, I could be the biggest nigga possible. And that's going to, the Lord got him in a trick bag right now. As it said, that the Lord's going to rebuke him now. And we seeing that happen. The Lord plaguing his place. It's what raising up his prophets. That was the Lord rebuking, raising up his prophets. Esau got more proud prophets than came up, man. You see? And that's how the Lord wanted. He wanted exactly like that, man.
This is Romans chapter 9 and verse 17. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So, the whole purpose of Esau getting pretty much God right now is just so the Lord can just tear it down and he be glorified, right? Just like in the time of Egypt, man, Pharaoh, the Lord hardened Pharaoh heart all them times because of what? He wanted, the Lord wanted to be glorified, right? The nation of Israel gonna be known like, yeah, like they got the Lord with them. It's gonna be the exact same thing here, but it's gonna be on a bigger scale and it's gonna be far worse.
Yep, that's why the Lord allowed Esau to get such a great rule and have such great control over everybody, man. See, so guess what? He can take it down. Everybody's gonna see it. That's how Egypt was a power. People knew about Egypt, man. It was on a high level because they had what? Us in rulership. And likewise, America got you Israelites in rulership. That's why this place is the way it is, man. Because Jake was able to build it up. Once we get removed out of here, once he tried to deliver his elect, and he kills off the wicked of his people that's here, man, America's done, man.
Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, daughter of Edom.
It's basically saying in a sense like go ahead, enjoy your time of rule. See, because you got a limit. You ain't gonna rule forever. We read the scriptures like mindset of Esau. He think he gonna rule forever, man. And you ain't gonna ever get taken down. You done gave all these nations a part of what separated you from them. They all got nuclear capabilities now. Right? All these still saying, yeah, we ain't worried about no other nation. You see how Trump is speaking. And really Trump is not puppet. The top elite want the war to happen. You see? Guess what? They're gonna try and bring everything together by way of that M-chip, that MC Hammer. We gotta use code, man. They'll fuck the video up.
That dwelleth in the land of booths. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked.
Yeah, the Lord's gonna make this place naked. It's all its sin is gonna be revealed. All that America, Babylon the Great has done is gonna be exposed, and it's gonna be a judgment for it. That's why in the ancient times, according to our law, if somebody was going off, you know what we did, man? They'll get stoned to everybody to be an example on how not to rule, how not to be. That's what the Lord's getting ready to do to Esau. And the main nation is the head is America, man. That beast is being ruled by the whore, which is the head, is America, man. They're going off the course of Babylon the Great. But it also stated that being drunk is gonna be drunk off the indignation. That's the righteous anger of the Lord. That's likened it to a drink. And the scriptures speak about how they're gonna drink the dregs. That's the bottom part. That's the shit fuck you up and get you drunk, man. The bottom of the drink, man.
The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion.
Yeah, the Israelites, Israel, man. We're the mount of the Lord.
Right.
And our punishment is almost over.
What's that? 2 Ezra 6 and 9.
Yeah.
Jacob is the beginning of the world. Esau is the end thereof.
The end of the world.
Right. Thank you. Right. So that lets you know that Esau Edom will have to be brought down in order for Israel to be uplifted. It's a clear correlation. Right? Back to it, it says 11:4:22. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
That's a punishment. That's something our people don't understand, man. Jacob, oh man, it's all good. Forget about it. See, like that's a okay thing. How we was treated. You Northern Kingdom and you Southern Kingdom was treated, man. But then y'all will acknowledge the H. We ain't gonna say the word. But what happened to them? They got a whole fucking day about it. They getting sent billions of dollars every year.
Right.
But we supposed to forget about what happened to us all them years.
Yeah,
man.
and you
niggas won't dare make fun of me. You know, you won't dare say what's going on over there in Gaza. You call us racist, you a bunch of hypocrites.
And Lord's bringing all you hypocrites before him. All your works, all the BS you've been doing, you better judge for it, because every man's gonna reap what he sowed. And all you niggas have been doing was trying to plant and build up this wicked kingdom that the Lord wants to destroy. So the Lord's gonna destroy you when he returns back.
He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will cover thy sins.
And that's something that a true man of the Lord will be desiring. That's how you know you guys are a bunch of phonies, man. Because when you look at the ancient prophets, what were they asking? Lord, are you going to restore the kingdom? When is it going to be the end of this world, the end of this age, man? You're going to establish that righteous standard, that righteous kingdom. That's how the men of the Lord were supposed to be in, that spiritual being. Revelation 13 states it as well. He that lead into captivity, go into captivity, that kill with the sword, being killed with the sword. But what does it say at the end? Here is the patience and faith of the saints. That's what the true Israelites is going to be desiring, man. You see, there is a right state of mind. It's really the elect, the only ones being holy.
Acts 1:6. When they therefore will come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
Are you going to give us back the sovereign power or dominion? A lot of you niggas, y'all think y'all believe in the Bible, but y'all don't even know what kingdom means, man. The scriptures say the kingdom on earth. That means the sovereign power dominion. You see? That's why you have scriptures like Revelation 11. It says how Yahushua is going to subdue all the other kingdoms and put them under his feet. You see? That means that dominions are going to be under Yahushua's rule and the nation of Israel's rule, man. You see? Because y'all get offended at that. Y'all get offended when y'all hear, oh, everybody else is going to be below us and we're going to be on top. Yep. Right? But y'all don't got no problem with Esau being over you.
Yep.
Somebody, you got something? Nah, you good. If you can get Revelation 11 and 15, that goes until where Yahweh goes to Yahushua's conquest, man. That's what ultimately what we're fighting for. We want to be with Yahushua subduing all you nations. Cause that's what King David did, man. And then guess what? The house of David built back up again. So we'll be in that same spirit. I'm sure we can get Amos 9:11. You ready? Yep.
This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 15. And the seventh angel sounded, and there was a great voice in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord Yahushua.
The kingdom of our Lord Yahushua, man. And when you read precepts like Daniel, the 7th chapter, what does it say? It says when the saints take the kingdom shall be the Lord's. Right? When the Lord's kingdom gets set up, he's going to have what? His people in rulership. It's not going to be no other nations on the same level as Israelites in the kingdom.
Right.
It says the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our power and of his anointing, and he shall reign.
It said, it said, and of his anointed. Those that's following Yahushua. That's Revelation the 2nd chapter. Revelation 2 speaks about how he that over shall inherit all things. You're going to get power over the nations. So that's talking about anointed. It says Yahushua and his anointed. So those that's following Yahushua, they're going to be in that conquest as well. Got it.
And he shall reign forever and ever.
Forever and ever. The kingdom of the Lord is not going to go back down. It's gonna last. It's gonna be forever. You know what I'm tell you why? Because that's what the Lord said and published and proclaimed. And then we won't sin no more, man. So if we're not going off, and if we have those new inquiries, we'll never be to the point where we're not gonna be blessed. We're not gonna have the power over your nations. Y'all got over us because we went off. We went and followed idols. We tried to follow the ways of men. We chose not to follow the ways the Lord set us up to follow, man. Oh, okay.
Amos chapter 9 and verse 11. And in that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and close up the breaches of it.
It said raise up the tabernacles of David. Because guess what? The house of David goes back up again since then, man. Because after the split that happened with King Solomon, guess what happened? Sooner, a little bit later, northern kingdom went to the Assyrian captivity, and the kingdom would go on to go into 4 captivities, man. You see? The Babylonians, the Medes, Persians, the Greeks, and the Romans. So it was never no more house of David being built back up. Did we have a certain time period where we fought off those Edomites? It was able to establish, yes. But that wasn't the whole nation of Israel together. But the house of David was awesome.
And just and for the people that are new, the brother brought that up because the kingdom of heaven is associated with the throne of David. Right? When David was on the throne, all nations were in subjugation in a heavy way.
That's right, brother.
You understand? So if the kingdom of heaven is associated with the throne of David, that infrastructure, something like it but better, is going to be set up. So what the brothers going into, our people, they have an inferiority complex to where it makes them uncomfortable having people beneath them and it being stated so openly. All right? Which that's how any kingdom is ran. There's a upper people that have dominion and get the last say, and they say, hey, this is the moral code of this place. That's what we're gonna have. But in righteousness, and it's gonna benefit the people that are beneath us. Okay? That was it.
Going back, Amos 9 and 11, and in that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ones, and I will build it as in the days of old.
As in the days of old, all of the 12 tribes together. No, it's not gonna be no more split. That's why Ezekiel 37 says we're gonna be one thick. Right now, the northern kingdom look at the southern kingdom funny, and southern kingdom look at the northern kingdom. That's why you have certain camps. It's only Latin tribes. That's Israelites. And then you some Judah. Oh man, they ain't Israelites, man. They don't look like Wesley Snipes. They ain't real. Meanwhile, the scriptures tell you there will be signs and tokens of who the Israelites are. You read chapters like Deuteronomy 28, so on and so forth, and it shows that they went through curses. And also, even the artifacts is there, man. But the reason why it's like that is because the Lord has it set up to where we're against each other, because that was one of our curses, man.
Verse 12, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that do this.
Possess all of the heathen. That's all the land. We're gonna be a possession of all of it. You know what I'm saying? What? We're gonna get that King's Highway back. That's like we're in control of King's Highway. Hey, you was winning. That's where all the trade was. And we're gonna have that what? We're gonna have all of our holy land again. That's where everybody fighting. That's why I saw that stuff going on in Gaza. They want control over the land, man. Because that's ultimately, a lot of that is part of the land of Canaan. That's where we were supposed to be at. And those nations Esau took it. But the Lord's getting ready to kick his ass out. Because they're not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be us there, man.
Keep going?
Yep. One more.
All right, verse 13. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt.
That's what we're getting ready to see, man. Lord's finna take all these power structures down and establish that one forever. So now Zion is gonna be above all the rest of these nations. That's why you got chapters like Isaiah, the 2nd chapter. They're gonna come and flow into us. They gonna look at us like, okay, we wanna be like, hey, we gotta do whatever they need. That's how they gonna be able to have
I want to get on that level.
Oh yeah. That's how it is now. A lot of these days they gotta deal with Esau. If you ain't down with what Esau trying to do, you're trying to be winning there, man. You ain't gonna win. You gotta be on whatever he's trying to push.
Isaiah 11 and 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines towards the west. Meaning that they're going to have rulership, right? They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them.
That's what happened, man. The Lord's gonna give us that sovereign power and dominion. He's gonna what? Take away that separate we have, man. Because Ephraim is known as like being like, when it says Ephraim is talking about the northern kingdom, they were the head of the northern kingdom. And when it says the kingdom of Judah, a lot of times it's talking about the southern kingdom, because they was together, right? But ultimately it's not gonna be no separation no more. We're gonna be together and we're gonna subdue everybody else. You see? Because the reason why it's been times where we tried to come together, but it wasn't in this truth. It wasn't in the Lord, so the Lord didn't have it work. A lot of those Latin tribes, they was kind of dealing with Jake when they was in the Black Panthers and stuff like that. You can read history on it. Even you had Native Americans that was kind of getting with Jake, but that wasn't foundationalized off this truth. So that's why I didn't stand, man. It came down. But when we're being gathered together through what? The spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the spirit of the Lord. And that's what's gonna actually last.
Right, hey, it wasn't the time, bro. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't time for, the tabernacle of David to be rebuilt. Yeah. Now we know sounds like the brother is going into. I got something too.
Oh, you got it.
You got some more today?
Now, I had a priest real quick.
Right,
I wanted to go into because the priest had mentioned earlier how that the tabernacle of David was as aligned with rulership, right? But this is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. I'm reading it. It says, "For a child is born to us, a son is given to us. The government will be on his shoulder, and he'll be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty Power, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And it's talking about Yahushua. Those are, right, keep going. It says his government and his peace will never end. He will rule with the fairness and justice from the throne of his ancestor did for all eternity. The passionate commitment of the Lord of heaven armies will make this happen. And just laying back off the point, how he's like the throne of David, you know what I'm saying? After too big coming back, closing up the breaches, that's along with us coming to sovereign power, because when Yahweh shall rule, he gonna rule on the throne of David. And during the time of the throne of David, what did you have? You had it toward the kingdom and southern kingdom work together. You see, as the priest mentioned in Isaiah 11, how Judah not gonna vex Ephraim, Ephraim not gonna envy Judah, because we're gonna be in the kingdom of heaven. That throne of heaven gonna be back established in earth forever this time.
Also, if I'm mad, you can actually look at, you can go into you can read those old books. Like in Samuel and Chronicles, it speaks about how those wars in Ziklag King David had. You had the different Gadites that was allotted over there. You had Benjamin, you had all the tribes that was helping King David fight. See why? Because we were together. And that's how it's gonna be when the house of David gets established now. We're coming back together. And we're just gonna be a bond that's never gonna be broken. See, because why? It's gonna be foundationalized with the Lord.
Skip the point. I mean, it's all good.
God, and I also brought Bible shot if we can get 2 Samuel 8. That goes into it when King did the conquest. See, because he's like, hey, our forefather King David, he wasn't playing these nations, man. Likewise, the Lord gonna put that warrior spirit on us again. It's right now the time for you Sakari niggas, a lot of y'all that's all on that carnal stuff. No, this ain't the time for us to hate. You do that, you gonna get your ass jacked up. Esau got robot dogs. You got them drones, all that stuff. You got stuff ready for your ass, man. If you try and go outside of when the Lord wants to do it.
And like you said, that the scripture said that the Lord, he said that I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument. You see, so like the priest was meant, ultimately when the Lord Yahweh shall return, he gonna gather his military and he gonna dupe us up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have all these abilities because we're gonna be in a new body, and that's when the con begins. But you want me to start at verse 1? Let me see. I mean, there's a lot in it.
You started. I say start at verse 3.
Okay. This is 2 Samuel 8. This is 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 3. It says,
Matter of fact, we probably read the NLT.
All right.
Yep.
This is 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 3 in the NLT. David also destroyed the forces of Hadazar, son of Rehob. I'm saying that right. Rehob, king of Zobah, when Hadadezer marched out to strengthen his control against the Euphrates River.
It's talking about this conquest. So we get the context. It's talking about King David establishing the kingdom. He's going to subjecting all these nations for what? Solomon to rule. You see? But it was a process. He had to put all of them in subjection. You see, he had to go over there and jack them up. We're gonna do the same thing when we establish the kingdom on this side, man. Got it.
Keep going. This is verse 4. It says David captured 1,000 chariots, 7,000 charioteers, and 20,000 foot soldiers. He crippled all the chariot horses, except enough for 100 chariots.
Keep going. It's going all the way into details. Let's go.
When the Arameans from Damascus are King Hadazer, David killed 22,000 of them.
22,000. That's a lot of men getting jacked up. And that warrior spirit is going to be brought back into the house of David now. That's being rebuilt. Got it, bro.
Then he placed army garrisons in Damascus, the Armenian capital.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to have garrisons set up everywhere, like Esau got garrisons set up everywhere. That's why these nations are scared to attack America, because they know they do that, America going to be on their ass just like that. It's not going to be no time. But the Lord's going to put in their spirit to all come together and go against them, man. Got it.
It says the Armenian capital, the Armenians became David's subjects and paid him tribute money.
They paid them taxes. So JB bad, yeah, tributaries.
They made tributaries.
God, JB bad as hell to get his shit. You try to work some, take all that damn tax on your check. We gonna be getting all that, man. We're gonna have control over all the highways. We're gonna have control over all that stuff again, man. See, so that's what we're fighting for, rulership. You got it, bro.
Yep, it says, so the Lord Yahweh made David victorious wherever he went. David brought the gold shields of Hadazer officers to Jerusalem, along with a large amount of bronze from Hadazer's town of Tabah and Barathi. When King Toi of Hamath heard that David had destroyed the entire army of Hadazer, sent his son Jerome to congratulate King David for his successful campaign.
A successful campaign. There was a whole bunch of successful campaigns. That's how it's going to be when the Lord establishes this kingdom on this earth, man. Current time, we're going to subject all the nations. It's not going to be one nation left out. We got all y'all ass going into slavery, man. You want me to tell you why? Because y'all all had a part in us being on the bottom. You got it, bro. Matter of fact, let's see right here. Let's go to, jump down to 11.
God, this is 2 Samuel 8 and 11. It says,
Jump down a little bit, NLT.
God, this NLT. It says, King David dedicated all these gifts to the Lord Yahweh as he did silver and gold from other nations he defeated.
All the nations did it. We're going to do the same thing. See? We're going to put all of them in subjection. We're going to what? Dedicate all this stuff to the Lord. See? It's going to be that righteous standard set up on.
God, it says, verse 12, from Edom, Moab, Ammon, Philistine, and Amalek, and from the son of Rehob and king of Sheba. So David became even more famous when he returned from destroying 8,000 Edomites in the Valley of Salt.
All those nations, man. All the nations they was subjecting. You see? So all you niggas talking about, oh, I want the Lord's righteous kingdom, but y'all talking about Esau making it too. You don't understand what the fuck you talking about, man. These nations have to be on the bottom when the Lord's kingdom gets set up. And chiefly Esau, Edom. You got Obadiah 1. That's basically all. God. 1 and 21, it goes with that point. Those saviors coming to judge the mount of Esau proves you Esau is going to be ruling in the last times. And the Lord's going to establish what the righteous men of the elect to come and subject these nations, man. And mainly it's going to be Esau. 21.
Obadiah 21, it says, and Savior shall come up on Mount Zion, judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's.
Woo, the kingdom shall be the Lord's. So before the Lord settles the righteous kingdom, guess what's going to happen? Esau, Edom is be taken down. We're gonna jack these dudes up, man. All these top Rothschilds, Oppenheimers, all these dudes that got all this bread, that's making stuff move and doing all that, that think they ain't gonna be able to rule forever. We're gonna have their asses slammed. They gonna be on the fucking field working, and they ain't cut like Jake, man. Israel, we made different. That's why we was able to endure all that slavery, endure all the hell we went through. These ain't like us. So when they get brought into captivity, it's gonna be bad, man. It's gonna be real bad. That payback, you know how they say the saying in the world, payback's a B, man. That's what we're getting ready to see, that payback happening. That's what the day of the Lord is going to be upon all you nations.
I had one real quick. This is a precept. This is Isaiah 41 and verse 15. It says, behold, I will make thee a new threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff. Just the brief point, you know what I'm saying? Going into that conquest